Day 12. I write this entry from a rather paltry shelter, and it's raining. I'm out of mine, and in hindsight, it may not have been the best idea to come here, but my impatience and excitement got the better of me. After my last entry, Day 10 started with a hunt for breakfast. I felt a bit parched, and the water collector had no water, so it was off to the coconut trees. While I was out, I also enjoyed a walk on the beach, taking note of resources and things along the way. I kept my spear handy in case I ran into predatory creatures. I found that the green coconuts are the ones most hydrating. The brown coconuts, the ones we've all thought when hearing the term coconut, are mainly good for making things with, like the water collector, once all the water and meat has been consumed. I spotted another giant tree I could use to map an area. I had to check my map to make sure it wasn't one I had already been to, and it wasn't. Though I may have passed it by, more or less, when I came from that direction to where I am now. I continued my walk down the beach, looking for plants that would give me wide leaves I could use to A. try to make a poultice for a burn I still had, and B. to repair my backpack and clothes. I didn't find any near the beach, so I headed back to the outcrop to get a better vantage point. No luck with that either. I did a stupid thing and tried to climb around the side of one of the structures on the outcrop. I ended up falling off the entire outcrop. No broken bones, but got pretty badly cut. I would need those wide leaves for more than clothes and pack repair. I landed near the stone pile at the base of the outcrop, which I thought was fortunate despite my stupidity. I had planned to gather these stones anyway. I had decided that whether I went after the obsidian or up into the mountains, I needed to upgrade my tools and weapons. I would need stone tools to mine the obsidian anyway. But I needed rest first before I began working toward that end. Refreshed myself with some water after waking up, and even though it was dark, I lit a torch and went to gather some wide leaves from a place I knew. Again, it would not have been a good idea to do this in the dark, but I needed the leaves and couldn't wait. I encountered a couple short-eared dogs on the way back, but I made quick work of them without any further injury. Back at my shelter, I dropped the leaves and went for a couple loads of long sticks. It took the rest of the night. I greeted the dawn of day 11 with crafting. Cooked up some food, upgraded my bed from a pile of leaves to a leaf mattress, and finally made that bandage for my wound, which had actually gotten worse. I should have bandaged it earlier. Fortunately, it hadn't quite gotten infected, which might have spelled certain disaster for me. I finally decided I would go after the obsidian, so I set about crafting my stone tools. I wanted to have 3 stone axes, 3 stone spears, 3 wooden spears, a portable bed, supplies for a fire, and rope. And I would need a workbench. But to build that, I would need rope, and I didn't have enough material to make more. I need rope for quite a few things, but that would require a little bit farther journey into dense forest to procure. Frustrated at not having the proper materials to gear up like I wanted, I took off for the obsidian even though it was dark. I was just so full of stupid. I had the wooden spears, I had the axes, I had some extra torches, and a bit of food, so I felt I was adequately prepared. Hopefully, I didn't need to sleep. I swam across the small bay near the outcrop and made my way through a small canyon on the other side that opened up into a field. I checked my map to see where I was, but nothing was marked, so I was in uncharted territory. There stood a similar arched structure to the one on the outcrop, so I headed for it. There sat a small bag of hibiscus seeds and a bottle of living water. The hibiscus seeds would come in handy if I had to stay long enough to establish a homestead here, since they're medicinal plants, but hopefully that won't happen. A jackal and a short-eared dog came at me. The jackal took quite a chunk out of me, but I managed to chase it away, but the short-eared dog almost finished me off. And I was worried a little scratch from falling off some rocks was going to do me in. I searched wildly for a place to make shelter or some way to rejuvenate myself. Then I remembered I had the living water. Drinking that brought me back from the brink of death. I found myself really wishing for a stone spear right about then. I spotted the outcrop in the distance, which made me wonder if I had gone in a giant circle. I got my bearings and headed north again, coming upon some orange trees, and dawn of today, day 12, peeking over the horizon. I doused my torch, but had to relight it again soon after because the sky clouded over. I continued north, but ran right into another jackal. I knew what I was up against this time, and I didn't let up until it was dead. I went back to the arch structure and made a little fire to cook some meat, but by the time I was finished, it had started raining. I dismantled the fire and tried to stay under the archway out of the rain, but it did no good. I made a run for the rocks, hoping to find shelter there, but didn't, so I kept on toward finding the obsidian deposit. I eventually found it down through another small canyon, and here I now sit. I found one piece of obsidian on the ground that I can take back to my shelter, but wouldn't you know it, I need a pickaxe, not a regular axe, to mine this stuff. Oh well. I'll try to wait here until it stops raining, and then I'll head back to the outcrop and reevaluate.